since 9/11. And the truth is, as the foreign minister said to me, there has never been an attack of this size in this country in 50 years. So that's since the war, since the occupation. And this is massive, even for a country that has had terrorism in the past. I was here in the 90s, there were terrorist attacks. Many of my predecessors covered those from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. But this is big, and this will change.
Christiana Amport will be talking more in the coming hour. Thank you so much for your insights.
Thanks, Jay.
As always, I want to turn now to CNN's Erin McPike. She is live this morning from the White House. Erin, thanks so much for being here. France is the United States of America's oldest ally. Who is the White House sending, if anyone, to today's unity rally?
Well, Jake, of course, the U.S. Ambassador to France, Jane Hartley, will be there to show some support for France. Also, Attorney General Eric Holder is there, but he's also in Paris today for a meeting that's hosted by the French Interior Minister, as well as the Homeland Security Deputy Secretary is also there. And this comes on the heels of U.S. officials telling us in the last few days that they expected attacks on the West like the one that happened in Paris this past week. And this idea from U.S. officials that these attacks are happening in perpetuity, they're going to continue. As we talked about yesterday, it's like the war on drugs they're comparing it to. Also, we heard from Andrew Parker, the director of the British intelligence agency MI5, saying that these attacks are harder to detect, that they're happening with very short planning. And so all of these people are coming together from Western nations to try to figure out a way that they can share intelligence better. They're brainstorming today on how they can prevent future attacks. And on that note, we also heard from the White House early this morning. Back in September, the White House announced that they would be holding a summit on countering violent extremism. They were going to originally hold that summit in October, but then it got pushed off. And this morning they announced that that meeting will be happening on February 18th. And I want to read part of the announcement to you. The White House says our partners around the world are actively implementing programs to prevent violent extremism and foreign terrorist fighter recruitment. The summit will include representatives from a number of partner nations, focusing on the themes of community engagement, religious leader engagement, and the role of the private sector and tech community. So obviously, Jake, a lot of meetings happening, brainstorming to prevent these attacks that are going to continue and trying to find some way to stop them, Jake.
Erin McPike, thank you so much. We appreciate it. I'm standing right here at Place de la République, and a police helicopter just passed by, and the crowd started applauding, chanting, "Merci la police." You hear them right now. Thank you to the police. Thank you to the police, they are saying here. Obviously, a policewoman killed on Thursday, a policeman killed on Wednesday by these terrorists in this series of attacks. Let's bring in right now terrorism expert and author of Al-Qaeda in France, Samuel Laurent. Monsieur Laurent, thank you so much for being here. There is obviously very intense, very heightened security right now in Paris for this unity march with all these world leaders from Germany, Great Britain, Israel, the Palestinian territory. Give us some understanding, some idea of what French police are doing to try to keep everyone safe.
Well, okay, they're really trying, obviously, to monitor the unpredicted. For now, there is no information about precise threat against the demonstration, the demonstrators, or even the world leaders that are coming around. But as you say, if we look at the facts, some cells are existing, some cells have been activated, and hundreds of jihadis have flocked back from Syria and Iraq to France. So the threat is real, and unfortunately we can say that this is a huge challenge, and this would be a huge prize for anybody willing to perpetrate a terror act today in basically in front of the entire world community. So we have to be aware of Al-Qaeda cells of the type that has been operated in Charlie Hebdo, and also of ISIS people, and as well as what we call lone wolves. So basically there is a multiple threat. As you can hear, maybe helicopters are flying around, there are snipers on the roof, It's a very, very tight and unprecedented security measures that have been taken here to surround and basically secure as much as it's possible Paris. But again, nothing can be guaranteed 100%.
For people just waking up in the United States, earlier today an incendiary device was thrown into part of a newspaper in Germany, and what may be significant about that, Sam, is that that newspaper published the Charlie Hebdo cartoons, the ones that had offended individuals, and put them in the line of fire by these Islamic extremists, and now the newspaper experiencing this act of vandalism. Thankfully, nobody was there, nobody was hurt. I imagine, Samuel Laurent, counterterrorism expert, that the initial investigations will look into whether or not there's a connection.
Yes, and obviously nothing is confirmed, but the connection is rather obvious, I would say. If it's not obvious in terms of organization, we do not know whether a cell is involved, but at least in terms of ideology, and this is the problem. Two people or two groups are acting not in connection in terms of belonging to the same group, to the IS, to the Qaeda, but still the ideology that underlies the action is basically the same. Those kind of threats, Europe is the United States, so basically French can go strike in Germany, German can come and strike in France, French can strike in Belgium, like we saw with the killings of the Jewish people in the Brussels Museum. So therefore, it's a very interconnected countries inside the European Union, and danger faced by one country is unfortunately felt directly by another.
That's right. Fighting terrorism, and in fact, any crime in addition to terrorism, very, very complicated for law enforcement to combat. Samuel Laurent, thank you so much as always for your insights. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more coverage of the aftermath of the terrorist attacks here in Paris, France, and in just 15 minutes, this unity rally will get kicked off. Stay with us. Stay with CNN for that. Back after this.
We take your data everywhere. So why does your carrier take back what you don't use? It's your data. Introducing Data Stash. Now at T-Mobile, all your unused data will store until next month. And we'll even get you started with 10 gigabytes of free 4G LTE data. It's your data. Keep it. Data Stash. Only from T-Mobile.
For fastidious librarian Emily Skinner, each day was fueled by thorough preparation for events to come. Well, somewhere along the way, Emily went right on living. But you see, with the help of her Raymond James financial advisor, she had planned for every eventuality, which meant she continued to have the means to live on, even at the ripe old age of 187. Life well planned. See what a Raymond James advisor can do for you.